To further help farmers recovering from the Biden catastrophe, we use money taken from tariffs. The tariffs, we've taken in hundreds of billions of dollars from the tariffs. And as I said, we gave you $12 billion in farm relief. And that happened just recently because you were hurt by certain countries unfairly. And I said you were unfairly hurt, and we gave you $12 billion, and that made up for it. I'm also asking Congress to quickly pass the new farm bill, and today I'm promising to request additional farm relief for our great patriots in the next funding bill. So we have you taken care of in both instances, and we're pushing very hard for the new farm bill.
Hi, hello, what's up? This is Navigator. Today we have some big news, good news too. There's been a national farm bill that made it so that if you're a foreign adversary like China, you can't buy up farmland. Which, I'm just going to be honest, why were we ever giving them farmland? That makes 0 sense. China's the enemy. It's like giving farmland to the goddamn Nazis. And it's just really stupid. What traitors actually did that? And it's something that the president has been talking about for a very long time. Take a look.
Food security is national security. That's why today is a good day for America. We just passed the Farm Bill off the House floor on a bipartisan basis. I was one of the subcommittee chairmen who helped to write this Farm Bill, and it is a good piece of work. It makes the investments that we need in rural America and in our producers. It is going to make America stronger. This bill heads to the Senate now. Let's get it done.
On this vote, the yeas are 224, the nays are 200. The bill is passed. Without objection, a motion to reconsider is laid on the table.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The agricultural land of the United States should be owned by Americans, not by foreign adversaries, hostile regimes, or those who actively seek to undermine the economic, food, and national security of the American people. Right now, federal law does not have a forceful provision that strictly denies entities and persons affiliated with foreign adversaries and state sponsors of terrorism from buying up American farmland. The same governments that hack our critical infrastructure, poison our communities with fentanyl, and dare to surpass the United States on the world stage are slowly acquiring American farmland acre by acre, county by county, and state by state. My amendment is simple. It would prohibit the purchase of agricultural land by foreign adversaries and state sponsors of terrorism. The fact that our enemies and their accomplices are already not firmly restricted from purchasing ag land in our nation should alarm every member of this body. Enemy ownership of our agricultural land presents a clear, dire, and direct threat to our national security. Much of our farmland surrounds our nation's most sensitive critical infrastructure assets and military installations, and such proximity can afford our enemies the ability to surveil our troops and disrupt critical supply chains that support military readiness, our energy grid, and keep our economy flourishing. We should never allow our enemies to gain a foothold in the shadows of the installations that protect and defend our economic and national security. Our agricultural land is perhaps one of our nation's greatest strategic assets. It's the land that sustains American families, insulates our military installations, and serves as the backbone of the American economy. Why should we ever give our enemies a single inch of the very land that sustains our country? My amendment draws a hard line, which should have existed all along. Our enemies don't get to own Americans' agricultural land. I urge my colleagues to support the American people's sovereign right to our farmland by voting for my amendment. I reserve the remainder of my time.
Mr. Chair, I rise today in strong support of the Farm, Food, and National Security Act of 2026. It is more evident than ever that rural America needs a new farm bill now, not next year or next Congress. Producers are operating under the third consecutive farm bill extension, and the simple truth is the policies of 2018 are no match for the challenges of 2026. It is time to get this critical legislative done. I've said it before, and I'll say it again, because it's important. This bill was not written in Congress. It was written out in the fields and pastures of our great nation while the Agriculture Committee held over 150 listening sessions. We went to farmers and ranchers and rural communities, and we asked them what they needed from Congress. Every provision in this bill is directly informed by what we learned in these listening sessions. Today, you will hear some opposing comments made that this is a partisan bill, and even more on what's not in the bill. And I'd like to remind everyone of the facts. This bill is filled with good policy that is also overwhelmingly bipartisan. Upon introduction, the Farm, Food, and National Security Act included or drew upon 150 bipartisan marker bills. During the committee's 22-hour markup, over 100 amendments were offered and debated, with 46 adopted, split evenly between Republicans and Democrats. It passed the committee with strong bipartisan support. It also enjoys the endorsement of over 500 agriculture stakeholder groups. I'm asking Congress to join the hardworking men and women who feed, fuel, and clothe our country in supporting this farm bill. Now is not the time to turn our backs on rural America, and I reserve the balance of my time.
We want the farm bill. The Democrats don't. We want security, okay? We need security. We want security. The Democrats don't think we need security. They actually do, but they suffer greatly from Trump derangement syndrome, like at levels that nobody's ever seen. They're sick people. There's something wrong with them. They don't want to pay anybody for security. They don't like ICE. They don't like Border Patrol people. They don't like the people that keep us safe. You know, when they ran this, they let 25 million people into our country, and many of those people were from prisons. They were from mental institutions, drug dealers, murderers, 11,888 murders, half of whom committed more than one murder. They think that was fine. I happen to like law enforcement. They essentially want to defund law enforcement, and I don't think the public's going to let them get away with it. You know, we got it all approved in the great big beautiful bill, and they want to renegotiate. We don't like that.
Yeah, and I think that's good because, again, why were our enemies having farmland here? Like, I wouldn't be surprised if Iran had some farm in here, too, which they were just building up their, people. Yeah. And without a doubt, what the president said is true. Democrats do not want security at all. If it make Trump look good, they will fight against it. Just like with Iran. They're rooting for Iran to win because Trump is involved. And now to get to this, I want to finish off with reading the Bible. Then Genesis 2:15. Then the Lord of God took the man and put him in the Garden of Eden to tend and keep to it. Thank you. This has been Navigator Podcast. Please come back again soon, and thank you.